How's it going, New World? Sethphir here, and we are back with a massive PTR update that just happened right now on the PTR servers. It is going to be patched and going up live very soon, but there are a lot of interesting changes, maybe some sneak peek at some things to come, a lot of opportunities to make a good chunk of gold, and important and vital information regarding the mutated dungeons and systems that are going to be coming forth very, very soon. So you're going to want to pay attention here. I'm going to put this link in the description down below because it is going to be the full release notes for the patch 2 for the January client. So this is going to give you all the detailed information. I am just going to TLDR it for you and highlight the super important stuff. You can go ahead and take a look at the full notes down below. So once again, that'll be in the description down there, so make sure to check that out. So we'll go ahead and dive into it. The first couple section is nothing of too much importance, but when we get here to this world experience section, we are talking about new fast travel shrines. And the reason why this is important is because it looks like they're putting one at Amrine, at Shattered Obelisk, at the Depths, the Garden of Genesis, the Siren's Lair, pretty much anywhere that has a notable location. So this is going to allow you to get to dungeons easier, including Lazarus Instrumentality and Garden of Genesis, but also it makes you think, why are they putting fast travel shrines at Amrine and Shattered Obelisk? Could there be mutated versions of these dungeons coming in the future? I don't know, it might be possible. So we shall see. That's at least what my brain was thinking when I saw this immediately. And there are some other changes, just general fix on the way scoring system works in mutations and different bugs and various difficulties. But we do have a lot of solid changes coming to PvP and Outpost Rush. The Brute is going up from 500 to 750 Azoth. And in addition to that, there's a massive change. Summoning stones now drop on death. So if you're walking around with a bear, wraith, or brute token, you are going to drop that if you die. So if you can kill that player who's been farming that PvE monster, you can take it and summon it instead, and that will be devastating to the enemy team, especially with the increased cost of the brute currently. They made some adjustments to the brute and the way he behaves and casts that corrupted like meatball, as we like to call it, that he hurls through the battleground. We got some lowered cooldown on that and lowered consistency, so he won't be as terrifying, but he's still going to be a very important part to controlling that middle point and a lot of other areas in that regard. Then we had some notable fixes, mainly with some blessed protection stuff with the Mending Orb. So there's going to be a little bit of a change in the way the perk functionality was going on there. So that's going to have a little bit of an impact on the way that life staffs are building and performing. And then a couple other PTR bugs in general. But then we're going to get down to an interesting point here. This is going to be the Umbral shard upgrading system and the way Gypsum casts worked. I just put out a video. If you haven't seen it already, basically you can hold your Gypsum cast and you could power level from 590 to 600 pretty much as soon as the PTR client comes out, and you're allowed to increase that expertise cap. So any Gypsum cast that you hold onto in your possession right now will be able to increase you to 592, then 594. And they did confirm that there was a bug providing only a +1 bonus. It should now guarantee a 2. So now upgrades from Gypsum cast above should be at least +2 when your expertise is in that level range. So it should be fixed now and not giving you a small amount increase. And then we have a massive change coming into economy as well as housing taxes. They are going to be increasing or decreasing the taxes overall that were in the system, but they're getting rid of that 90% house tax grace period. I don't know about this one. Let me know what you guys think down below, but I love the fact that there was no taxes. The only problem was that those high taxes were allowing guilds to milk it for free money from Amazon that was just generated out of thin air, since taxes were reduced by 90%, but guilds were still getting the full bonus of having all that stuff in there. So I don't know how they fixed that. I don't know how they fixed the gold economy. It's rough. It's rough, Amazon. It's in shambles right now. We need help. Guilds have way too much gold that they shouldn't have. People have gold from dupes. So we need to get rid of all this stuff. We need to get rid of everything that's going on in there and just kind of tone it down and make it to where gold is relevant to the player and relevant to be earned in high level activities, right? We have another change coming in with the aptitude rewards. The Azoth Vials are going to be going down. You're not going to be getting as much anymore. So that means that the demand for those is going to go up even higher. And I saw on my server that all of the Azoth Vials were already pretty much gone, right? And in fact, it had been several days before this was even brought up here, right? Like, we're reading this patch note right now, and several days before somebody had cleaned out all the Azoth Vials. So that's really weird. Maybe a really good prediction or something. I don't know what's going on there, but that's you know, something that you may have to look forward to in the future, or not look forward to, is Azoth Vials are going to be more scarce, so it's going to be a little bit harder to get those. But that being said, the travel costs for traveling distances are going down significantly, and especially if you own the forts, it's basically free, the forts associated with travel, so that may kind of counterbalance it. So maybe Azoth Vials won't be worth too much, so don't panic and go buying all these Azoth Vials. It's not gonna matter that much, right? You'll use them to respec your weapons occasionally, and you'll pay a little bit for traveling, but other than that, you don't use Azoth for anything else. Maybe crafting, right? But you should probably be okay on the most part. So next we have a few changes just in general with like crafting things. They had some bugs where like timeless shards weren't being used when they were being crafted, so that's been resolved and fixed finally, so hopefully that'll help everything out. And then they also fixed a few items, like that Lazarus bow used to have 25 dexterity, now it has 30, and I did test this because we got one on the PTR. We have seen it, it does have 30 now, so it's back up to the normal gear score level. Then we have a little bit of leveling buff, so you're going to level faster between level 23 and 45, so that's decent and of note. And then the next big thing that we have is going to be about expedition tuning orbs. So now the materials required to craft keys, like to chisels, the corrupted fragments, shards, crystals, loadstones, all that stuff is now tradable. You can buy and sell it on the auction house. You can buy and sell it to players if you wish. So that is going to create a huge economy shift. Players that have been farming portals will be rewarded handsomely because now they can sell all that hard-earned work to players that maybe just don't have time to do that, but maybe they have a lot of gold. So that's going to be a great way for them to make a nice profit off of tuning orbs. In addition to that, the mutated tuning orbs can be crafted once per week, but you can also buy them in the faction shop, and it is confirmed now once per week. So before there was no cap on the PTR, and some people were speculating, oh, you could just buy as many as you want. No, it's not like that. You get 2 per week, 2 total, and that's what we thought. That's what we were like, okay, this is probably wrong because it was putting a weird cooldown on a different item. We're pretty sure it's a week cooldown. Yes, it's correct. You can buy one from the faction vendor, and you can get one from stone cutting. So stone cutting is still very good, but it's not mandatory, right? You can now buy it from the faction vendor and skip out, but if you want 2 per week, then you definitely will want that stone cutting. And with these mutated dungeons being so powerful, dropping so much loot, you are gonna want 2 per week. So this is definitely, if you haven't done so already, please do yourself a favor and level up your stone cutting. Get to 200, right? So in addition to those mutated tuning orbs being sold in the faction shop, you will also be able to buy Dynasty Shipyard, Garden of Genesis, and Lazarus Instrumentality regular tuning orbs once per week. So that's a nice little bonus there. Everybody's going to be able to run that more. And the best part about those dungeons right now is that they have increased drops from the name monsters, even on the normal difficulty. So you can get like a 600 legendary version of one of the named items in there, and it will still be worth your time. It's a fantastic way to get your expertise up as well if you are not already max expertise level. So all of these are really good changes. They also have a very nice change in here. You will no longer reduce all the durability on the items in your inventory. Instead, it will only be on the items that you have bound to you. So items that are bound to you that you use constantly will be damaged on death, but the items that you just pick up, you know, while you're doing the dungeon, those aren't going to take damage unless you choose to bind them to you, like you equip them at some point in time. So I thought that was quite the nice change as well, to be honest. They have some other fixes with just general bugs. The only real notable thing from this section is that there is a trading post fix. You guys remember when we were trying to sell something and it would reset the window and go back to the top? It doesn't do that anymore. It just stays open and you keep selling things down the list. Finally, that's such a good change because it's so frustrating trying to sell all of those things. But I think that this patch is going to be great. There's a lot of massive changes coming in here, just defining the way that tuning orbs are going to be work, PvP changes with the Outpost rush, and tons of other interesting things like fast travel points, and it's going to change up the way things are looking in the future. If you have not already, make sure to look into those mutated dungeon orbs and start getting prepared for them, because they drop insane loot and gear score. You need to be ready for this, guys. Seriously, make sure you prepare for that. That's going to be it for this video. Thank you for your time and watching it. We appreciate that as always. Make sure to subscribe, like, and hit the bell if you have not done so before. And we also have a join button if you're looking to become a member today. We have a Discord and Twitter in the description link, so you can follow us on social media. And that's going to be it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next video.